are you? Um, Today is the 2nd of March, and gold has done it again. We spoke last week how we were expecting gold to grab all of that inefficiency on the daily chart, and it actually just went there and did it. Did it last night. We had a very good trade together with our students yesterday in a live arena, and that was pretty awesome to be part of. So let me just do a couple things here and let's get ready. Let's see how everything is going to happen today. I've just got to sort out my audio here that I'm not getting anything. Just got to make sure that everybody's hearing what I'm saying. Cool. All right. So let's go here to our daily chart so we can have a look at this and see what exactly has happened. There's actually a lot of info here on my chart. I should delete some to make it easier on you guys. Let me see if I zoom in. You're actually going to be able to see. So these are just some lines that I put yesterday as support and resistance. This is from the 1 hour. As we were trading together with my students, I put some lines of support and resistance in there for them, so they knew exactly where we were looking to trade. So just delete those. We don't need these anymore. We don't need that. We don't need these. We don't need that. Or these. These ones are long gone. This one we can still leave here. Price may come back to it sometime. Not at the moment. So yesterday, due to everything that's been happening, Trump actually bombing Tehran and in Iran. So quite a lot of stuff happening, and as we know, always when the world goes upside down, everybody comes back to the gold. All right, so people will take their money out of other assets and we'll bring it back to the gold, which gives us this very big push here. Now, last week I did tell you guys that we're expecting the price of the gold to come back here as it had already confirmed the pullback. So we expected this price to come back up and then clear all this inefficiency here that we had on candle 21. And it did yesterday, okay? Only thing here is that candle 42 opened up with a very big gap in here, which is, let's see how many points is left in there. About 3,000 points, 2,500 points of a gap. Now, we do know that this price should come back to that gap, okay, to clear the liquidity that was left in there. But it didn't manage to do that last night. Too many buyers, okay? They used the minimum of yesterday as support. And not only that, there is a trigger candle here on the 1 hour that also posed as support for this price. So gold went right back up, okay? Breaking through this trigger candle here, which is the region of 5390. That's where I took my take yesterday, my take profit. So it is a very good stopping point on the 1 hour chart. Right now, we can see that price is below that trigger candle, even though it has gone past it a little bit. It did drop down just below it at the moment. So we do know that we have a very big and very hard resistance up above. So we've got to be careful when we trade in that region. All right. Now, once again, to the basics, we are above the 50% on all regions, right? So we are above 50% of retraction. We are above 50% of this movement. We are above 50% of everything else. We are above 50% of the day. So we can say for sure that the market is bullish today. So it is very bullish. I'm not looking to sell unless it shows me that the market would like to come back here to clear this gap that it left in there. Okay. So let's go. We don't have this inefficiency here anymore. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to delete that. That's gone. And then we'll draw our liquidity on the lower time frames. So here on the 1 hour, we can clearly see that gap. So I'm going to draw these up now. There's a whole bunch of liquidity and stops below this region. And there's also a whole bunch of liquidity and stops below candle 109, which is this one. So these are the regions of liquidity at the moment. This one's gone. On the 1 hour here, what we can see is that candle 3 came down to the support, okay, minimums of candle 1. I did tell my students yesterday, as soon as the price reached that trigger candle, that they should leave their positions. I hope they all did, because if they didn't, they actually got a very big stop in here. But anyway, candle 5 did break through maximum high of candle 4, and then candle 6 came back to test the support of the trigger candle 3. And then candle 7 did the same thing, which I would be telling that the market is actually was actually on its way up. Now it did renew the maximum high of candle 1, but then since then it hasn't been able to do the same. It didn't keep going, so right now we have these Fibonacci here, which means that candle 14 was actually a 3 candle pattern on the 1 hour chart. All right. Now we should wait a bit more, okay? Because if this price actually breaks through the trigger candle, that would be telling us that price is coming back up. We don't have a lot of space in here, but we have about 2,000, just over 2,000 points, 2,300 points until this maximum high again. So let's see how price will behave in this region. We'll have a look at lower time frames and see what we can do. Let's have a look to the left so we can get an idea on what's happening here. So this maximum high here, that this line that I put in there was exactly on the trigger candle here, okay, on the 1 hour chart. And then I put this other one, which is support here to the left. And then we had this one, which is support as well. So this is why I had this arrow here, simply indicating that if price dropped below this line, we could have a awesome trade, you know, until this line here, which was about almost 3,000 points from here to here. So some guys took it, some didn't, but it paid really well. If we go back here, we'll be able to say that as soon as price dropped below here, it did pay that trigger candle. down here. So that was good. And now, what are we looking for? If this price stays above this trigger candle on the hour chart here, the next relevant stopping point that we could see is this one. Okay, so we'll just put a little bit below. I don't know if price has broken through that already and captured that liquidity, but we can try to. I don't know if this works this way. No, it doesn't. Oh, so it hasn't grabbed that one yet. So there's a whole bunch of liquidity here that they'll probably want to come and grab. Let me put that in lime green, light green. Cool. All right. So we know that we have that liquidity there. Just above that price. And then after that, the only other one that we could say, where is it? 29 again. Why are you going that far out? Come on. So after this one, the other one that we could see would be this region here. So we could leave that there as well. In case price does break through and manage to grab that liquidity, it will probably come around here and feel the pressure from sellers. There's a lot of liquidity up above, okay? So we know that's not going to be very easy to get in there these next few days. But price may want to do that. One thing that we know for sure is that many reserve banks around the world, they are all buying gold at the moment. So they're selling their dollars and then they're buying gold instead of keeping the dollars as a reserve. Okay, so this can push the price of gold up as well, as some people believe that there is instability with the American dollar due to all these political policies that Trump has been putting through. Not a lot of people happy with it. So some people are just jumping back on the gold as they used to have back in the days. Let me just have a look at one quick thing here. All right. So right now, from our 1 hour chart, we know that we are around the 50% of this last movement. We are above 50% of the day. We're just inside of the resistance or the support. If you price coming back down, we're just inside of that support on candle 1 and 2. So price is not in a very good tradable region right now. Let me put this back there. What are you doing? On here on our 15-minute chart, we can see that candle 53 actually closed breaking through trigger candle 47, but it did not beat trigger candle 43. So closing side of that region, candle 54 did do a small push up just before, but it has come down. And it is testing for support right now on candle 4 and candle 5. So if it does manage to stay above the trigger candle here, which is at the region of 5390, we could be looking at a good buy around this region. But at the moment, as we can see, it's just consolidated. Okay, price is moving sideways at the moment, so it might not be a good idea to trade here. Okay, all right. Just to give you guys an update, yesterday we managed to do, we have that challenge going here. Last week we did 10% of our account. So yesterday we managed to do another 2%. So right now, in just over a week and a little bit, we have done 12% of our account. So 12% profit in just over a week. This is very awesome. And let's see how far it will take us to double this account, okay? So the aim to double it is 90 days on this challenge, but let's see if we can do it in less than that. I'm not going to be pushing it. I'm not going to be putting my account at risk. I'm just going to keep on doing what I do every single day to show you guys that it is very possible to be profitable on day trade, and it's very possible to multiply your account without putting a lot at risk. Always with our risk management in place. We're not going to be risking more than what we have on our trade plan. Okay. All right, so let's go down to our 5-minute chart right now. On our 5-minute chart, same thing. We are above 50% here. It is a region of support at this moment. Okay, we're just above the maximum high here of this structure. So nothing to do as it is right now. We're just gonna have to wait a little bit more to decide if we are gonna have a very good buying trade or a good selling trade. At the moment, candle 1621 does need to come and test trigger candle 155, possibly breaking through and coming back below the 50% of this movement. If we put a Fibo here from the last movement to that one, we can see that we are below 50%. But then if we move it down to this one, which is the last movement, we are at 50%. So nothing to do right now. It's one of those boring parts of being a trader. We do know that we must wait for the movement there to break through, be it to the bullish side or be it to the bearish side. We've got to be careful with those, see where price is going to take us. Put my iPad to charge. I forgot to do that. Use it very soon to trade with my boys. Students will be live very soon at 10 o'clock. All right, so right now, candle 1621 hasn't tested the trigger candle 155. It just came back. It is testing trigger candle 159. So price is very squashed in between this trigger candle here, 159, which includes that trigger candle on the 1 hour at the region of the 5390. Not a very good idea to buy right now because we have resistance everywhere. So we have here at candle 159. Oh, where is it? Come on, I need this one. So we've got a good resistance point here for the price. And then we have good resistance here, and then a good one here, which is just a little bit above it, and then one here again. If we put a line basically here, it should go across all the maximum highs of the structures above. That will be sweet. Okay, so if we put a line in there, we can see basically where the resistance is. You could even lower a little bit to be at the trigger candle 118 in there if you wish. So around that region, we know that there's a lot of resistance. All right. So we are better off to wait for this price to start breaking through regions and instead of us just trying to buy or sell just anywhere. Okay. So coming back to this 50 now. Let's see if candle 161 will manage to break through the resistance to the left-hand side. On 1 minute, it has confirmed pullback to the highs here. As you can see, price has beat that 50% of the movement in here. So candle 803 did confirm the pullback. It's up to candle 804 now to fulfill the pullback, which is it must renew the maximum high price of candle 793. So it's got to come here and at least renew that price. Otherwise, it could fail the pullback. All right, candle 162 is testing down right now. It still has got the obligation of renewing that maximum high of candle 793. Now we have got all these trigger candles to the left that could hold that price. Candle 161 did close inside of candle 152. So let's see how that price is going to behave in there, how it's going to react to all that resistance. Candle 162 can test up to the 50% of the movement. Okay, so it could come even a little bit below before it continue on its way up. I don't want to be in a trade right now because there's not enough space here, and the volatility is a bit low. So there's not enough space for me to get into a very good payable trade. Okay, something that'll pay me at least about 500 points easy. So I prefer to stay out of this for now. Price is sideways. It is consolidating in this region. But then again, let's have a look at the higher time frames and see what we can see here for the opening of the American market. So for the opening of the American market, we can see, we can speculate a couple things. Price could come here. If it doesn't manage to start breaking through, it's going to have to come back here around the 50% of the day to grab liquidity, right? So it should come around here and search and grab liquidity around this 50%. Now, if price does start breaking above this region, we do know that we have liquidity up here. So we have got a whole bunch of liquidity here in this moment. So if it does start breaking above, I would wait for a liquidity grab below here At the moment, we can see it's just on the 15 minutes, we can see how consolidated the market is around here, around this region. So it would be preferred to wait for a liquidity grab. So we could wait for a liquidity grab here just around the 50% of the day. Possibly it could come up until the trigger candle number 3. But if it comes here, it will still not grab the liquidity below candle 7. So possibly what I'm looking at is that the market will come around here to the 50%, grab the liquidity generated here below candle 10, 11, 13, 12, and 13. So once it grabs the liquidity here, it should have enough force to continue this movement up. On the opening of the American market, we might see this price being pushed up. Okay, we are, as I said, we're above all 50%, so we might see that happening quite easily. Now, the opposite is also true, where if this price can't continue on its way up because due to all these trigger candles holding it on the 5 minutes, and on the 15 minutes here where trigger candle 43 is really holding that price, if it can't go up, it's going to have to come down to do a liquidity grab. Now, when it does that, it might accelerate back inside of this structure because this gap here is not going to be here for very long. So I do know people that believe that gaps, they must be closed. I do know that sometimes they're not closed straight away. It might take some days before the chart will actually come back to that region. But it could come today since price has been pushed through by the Asian market. Okay, it has been pushed up and then through the European market. Also, it got pushed up, then it's getting pushed down right now. Price is trying to come back up. So when the US market opens, we might see a big surge of liquidity here. Now they could come back to grab liquidity until around the region of 5173, since all that inefficiency has already been used up on the daily chart. Okay. Now, if it comes straight down, it's going to create a little more inefficiency upwards. So then we could see price coming here, getting that liquidity, and then going back up once again. As I said, we are waiting for this price at the maximum high, at the record high, okay? We should be seeing this price up there in the next few days. If it doesn't go straight up after the opening of the US market today, we could see that as well. There's a lot of liquidity up there. Candle 55 opened up, testing down, but we can see that 54, it just closed below that trigger candle. So it hasn't broken through trigger candle 43, even though here on the 1 minute, we're still above 50%. So this confirmed pullback here at candle 803, it's still valid. So price is still trying to push up to renew these high of candle 793. So as we can say, there is ways of trading up and down. We could be bullish today, we could be bearish today. We are in a region where price is consolidating, and we're just going to have to wait for it. We can't just jump into conclusions and go trading like crazy, because we could lose a little bit of money in here in these sort of structures going sideways, consolidated. It's not a good place for a trader to be trading. Okay, so be patient. Patience pays the trader. So we just can't be putting money at risk over nothing. All right, wait for the confluence before you jump in to your trades. For you guys that come across this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also share this with your friends, okay? We do make this gold analysis every single morning here at Trading Cage. So I hope that you guys have been enjoying the way that we map the price. We map this price every single morning, every day, okay? Um, Monday to Friday, of course. We start at 9 o'clock Brazilian time, which is 7 o'clock New York time, and we go until 10 o'clock Brazilian time, which is 8 o'clock US time. I've been doing this for the next almost 60 days now. We have just got under 600 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We have put up more than 90 videos on the last 60 days, and we are going to continue to load these lives and everything else up on YouTube for you guys to learn how to map price and how to trade on the gold with a good technique. All right. So what I'm looking at the moment is I'm looking at these here. Price is just coming here and getting pushed down and then drops there, gets pushed down again. Let's see what it's going to do in there. Trying to beat the trigger candle 43. It's not so easy for it. Right now it did close above. As we had said, only 1 minute. It must go to renew that maximum high now since it has confirmed that pullback. Candle 164 does need to test trigger candle 162 before it continue on its way up. The reason we're not going to get into this trade is simply because the stop is too long and our take would be very, very small. So we would be looking at about 400 points right now. And we still have got resistance to the left-hand side. We are not free from that resistance just yet. So it's a lot easier to lose money in this structure right now than actually making money, even though we know where price should go. I'm having a look here because I can see this triangulation here on the 5 minutes. And then if I have a look from below, I've got this one. So price is just in that region. Below resistance, we've got a trend line going down here, and we've got a trend line going up here. And the prices is squashed in between it. Good thing that we learned many, many years ago that we should be patient. So patience is the name of the game, and this is what we are going to be right now. Candle 55 does need to test trigger candle here 52. So it could test up until 50% of candle 54. It did come into the region, but it can come a little bit lower to search for support. Okay. So the support that we're talking about is basically this line here, which is above candle 146. It may also find support here at candle 160, but I don't believe that that support in there is very strong. The strongest support would be at this hourly trigger candle 5390, which is exactly trigger candle 52. All right, so price is there right now. Let's see if it will come back up, or if it will simply continue on its way down. So I'll take these lines out so it doesn't get you guys all confused up. Then we had the Fibo before. We also have got this Fibo here. Candle 164. Getting a big rejection there from that support region. It's a very good movement, very bullish movement. It's not timing yet. We might get a bit better amplitude in the movements closer to 10 o'clock. Okay, we're about 20 minutes away from getting a big push from buyers or sellers. Let's see if candle 55 will close inside of candle 43. So candle 164 did close inside of the structure once again. This might be a pullback on the 1 minute, but candle 819 did close inside of trigger candle 817. So this price could possibly be coming down once again to test that support. Okay, candle 820 hasn't tested down. It's one of those regions, there's no point for us to be trading right now. I know a lot of people get quite nervous and quite anxious to be trading, but at the moment it's too risky. It's way too risky since candle 55 hasn't been able to break through that trigger candle 43, and we are just below resistance. Candle 165 is not testing. Candle 819 on the 1 minute did close inside of that trigger candle 817. We didn't want to see that. We wanted it to close above it. But then candle 820 came back to the maximum highs of the movement right now. We should be seeing that price paying, renewing that maximum high of candle 793. Price is playing around quite a bit. If it closes above that price, that will mean that price will have broken through that resistance and will possibly come here to grab the liquidity above. We do have a little bit of liquidity here. It's not much, but we have some here. And we also have got a little bit more on top of candle 127 here. Plus we have all that inefficiency there from candle 119 and other bits and pieces. So if this price actually closes above there, it could accelerate to grab all of this liquidity above these structure here on the 15 minutes. It did renew the maximum high of candle 793. So it has concluded the obligations as a pullback. Okay, there are no more obligations for the price as a pullback. So let's see if it will continue to go up or if it will actually come down. So the obligations of the pullbacks is actually to renew or break through the last high. We can see here, let me get my zigzag. So we can see here um, that we had that big push up and then price comes down. Once candle 803 goes over the 50% of this movement, it has told us that price should be coming here to renew the maximum high of candle 793. The obligations of a pullback is to renew or break through. So it hasn't broken through, but it has renewed the high price. Okay, concluding then the pullback. Now, we do know that there's got a bit of liquidity up above, so price should have gone and grabbed that liquidity in there. Hasn't done so far. On the macro, we're talking about a micro movement, but on the macro movement, you could say pretty much the same, okay? So when we're talking about context, this here is a pullback. As soon as candle 158 closes above the 50%, it confirms to me the pullback to the high, right? So then this here would be a confirmation of a pullback. Then price comes down around 50% region, and then it should be coming back up here to renew the maximum high once again. So same thing that we talk about on the micro movements, you could say here on the macro movements, same stuff. All we are waiting for is for the price to break through. Price is slowly getting up there. I don't like to be trading on regions where price is consolidated like this, because once it's starting it's starting to have a hard time breaking through trigger candles to the left, where it offers a lot of resistance for the price, then we could be stuck in a trade that is actually going to have to come back down below to grab liquidity. And we can see that on the gold happening quite often. So very often price is not going to be able to break through, then it comes back down. There's a whole liquidity grab before it start moving up. The problem is that if we are going long in a trade like this, and it does need to go grab liquidity, we are going to get a stop loss simply because we wanted to get, 400 points out of the gold, 4 to 500 points, which is a small scalp. It pays pretty much every time, but I do prefer to wait for the better movements, okay? Because I'm not here just um, gambling my trades. I actually want to have good trades done in the proper way. And if I do get a stop loss, I don't want that emotion to get to me saying, look, you just got stopped because you didn't wait for your rules, you didn't wait for the price to show exactly what it was going to do, and then you ended up losing money just over this. So we're talking about quite a lot of money. Of course, in this account here, that's just, it's just a little bit, so it doesn't hurt. If I lose $200, that's totally fine. But in my other accounts, we're talking about a lot more money. So we don't want to be risking money just because we want to be in a trade. As it says, patience pays the trader. Take it easy. Things are going to go well if you do if you do position yourself as a professional trader and not as an amateur that wants to be in every single candle to get $5, $10. That's not the way to go. Okay, doesn't mean that it's not going to pay you those $5 and $10 if you jump in every candle and go crazy. But it just means that you're putting all your capital at risk over $10. And that's not worth it. It's a lot better to wait, get into a proper movement, get your your target profit for the day, get that out, and that's it. Go enjoy your life. That's the life of a trader that you want. You don't want to be in front of the screen all the time, just clicking like crazy, trying to make that target in every single candle. All right. All right, so candle 55 did close above trigger candle 43. Candle 56 testing down once again. It did find support, it did find a resistance up above. Now, candle 165 did close above all trigger candles to the left, okay? Which should tell us that this price is going to go grab all that liquidity up above. Candle 166. It is testing down to see if it finds support in that region right now. But it now has the responsibility and the obligation of going up there to grab that liquidity. It's way too close to it for it not to go grab it. We do have trigger candle 118, which could hold that price. But as far as we can say, if we come here, we are above this 50% right now. Let's see how this one. So we're pretty much on that 50% once again of that movement. Trigger candle 817 is the point to hold this candle 830 going down. Candle 830 could be just coming down to grab the liquidity below candle 827 and 829. Candle 166 could be just a pullback for candle 167 to come back to the high movement. So candle 167 coming again to the region of trigger candle 160. Okay. I have said before that for me support is below here, is at the region of trigger candle 52. But candle 56 does not need to come down as far as 52 anymore, around the region of 46 here. It should find enough support for this price for candle 56 to continue on its way up. We have 8 minutes to go here from 10 o'clock. We should see we could see a little bit of more amplitude on these candles and volatility kicking in very soon. Okay, so around 10 o'clock we start getting a bit of volatility in the market. Let's see where this volatility will take this price. headphones went today. So it's 7 minutes to go. Candle 167 still testing down at the moment. We don't want to see candle 56 coming down and closing below that trigger candle 43. Sorry, guys. Went to sleep over midnight last night. It was a long night after trading the opening of the Asian market. Let's have a look at one thing here on our 5 minutes. We do know that price works from high, low, and 50%. So right now we are here. Just below that 50%, price is coming down to test for support once again. Did break through that 50%. We have got support in this region of the 5390. We've got quite a bit of trigger candles to the left hand side. If price breaks through that trigger candle 52, then we're going to see this price coming down quite a bit more to grab the liquidity below. Okay, here on 1 minute we have liquidity here, and we have liquidity here below 799, and below that we've got quite a bit more. As I said before, we got 5 minutes to go. I'm just going to leave you our speculations for the day on what we think that might happen here on the open of the American market. Okay. As I said before, I don't want to be buying below that resistance. We can see here that that resistance is really, really strong, even though we got liquidity up there. We do know that this price needs to come back and grab liquidity below. The liquidity below that price could come and grab is below candle 13. Okay. So we could see price down here, coming here to grab that liquidity before it actually moves up. The only bad thing is that if it induces sellers, if it induces a lot of sellers, we could see this price actually dropping down quite a lot more. So for the moment, for me to believe that this price, it just did a liquidity grab here below candle 817. It shouldn't be enough for it to start breaking through. So we should see it coming down below, okay? So once it does grab that liquidity, then it would be good to see this price coming back up. As we can see, it did very good and healthy movements up, but then early morning today, it started coming down, but you can see that price does not break through the candles before, candles to the left. So you see healthy movements here where price is breaking through and solid movements. And then over here, you can see that they are not closing below the next candle's lows. So we can see that it's coming down to do a liquidity grab, but in a very slow movement. So it is very possible that after this price does this liquidity grab here, it could induce sellers to continue in its way down. We do have liquidity down here and down here, but I do believe that this price at the moment above these 50% and above 50% of the day, I do believe that this price is up, okay? Now, if it does come down, break through this 50, and then closes inside of these trigger candle 7 here, we could see a reversal, and we could see price coming down, and you could have a very good selling trade from this point here, because it will have gotten inside of trigger candle 3. If price does get inside of here, you could sell here until the minimal lows of today. Okay, that would also be a very good trade. Hey Sabu, good morning, but that would be a very good trade as well. As we can see here in 1 minute, price did that liquidity grab and is now trying to push this price back up to grab that liquidity up above that structure. Okay, so as I said before, it did need to grab liquidity. I do believe that it should grab the liquidity below first. There's a lot of liquidity below candle 13 here. It should have grabbed that one before it's trying to go back up, because that resistance, it is quite strong. Guys, I do have to go. It is 10 o'clock. I've got to go get to my students. We're going to be starting to our trades for the day live on our workshop. I have left you guys with the analysis for today and how we met this price. Just be careful, be very careful here around this region here. Okay, this is resistance. Price does need to grab that liquidity there. I was hoping that it would have come down before to grab that one below. I actually can get into this trade here. I'm gonna go buy. I'm gonna get into a buy here. But I do have to go. Okay, guys, thank you very much for being here with us today. I hope that you've been enjoying the way that we teach you guys how to map this price and how things should work around the day trade, especially how you should behave around the trades that you make. Okay. I hope to see you tomorrow. We'll be back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock once again for another trading cage. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, okay, and share this with your friends. And we'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I will see you soon.